Hello, this is Audio Heads, predominantly, you know, uh, non-magical exploration of Geeks Assembled. Where's my mic? There's my mic. And this evening we were reviewing Conan the Barbarian and the the Tower of the Elephant. And I just thought, might as well try one of these Conan ones. They say they're full cast dramas, and they say that they're really exciting and stuff. But yeah, they weren't. This is the second time I've done some exploration into one of the franchises that I think are really cool, and heard about these full cast audios, but this is just ridiculous. I mean, the story had no action scenes. It didn't have hardly any. It was just mostly, what do you call it? Narration, reading from the book. And I know that this came from a book, but I thought full cast audio. That's what it said. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna slide that over to Lee. What do you think, Lee?
Yes, it says full cast audio. They lied. It's just narration after narration. It's just someone sitting reading a book. Occasionally, you get a bit of dialogue from a couple of actors. Then back to the narration again. And you know how much I hate narration.
Yeah, I feel bad for you. Sorry about that.
No. I sat and listened to. It was just over an hour. Sat and listened to it, and I tell you now, I don't know what the story was because there was no, as you've already said, no action or. I don't know what the outcome of the story was.
Huh.
I just tuned out.
I guess I can see that. That would be a good response.
It sort of picked up. We say when there was a bit of acting dialogue as Conan and whoever it was, or Conan and the elephant god or whatever it was, alien, whatever it was. But the narration just droned on and on and on. Yeah, but as I said, for otherwise, I just don't know what the story was about.
Yeah, I understand.
As we've said before, if you're going to do it, state it as a full cast audio, do it as a full cast audio. Get actors in to play the roles. You don't need all this narration.
Right.
I've got to say though, when you did have a bit of acting, it wasn't as bad as the other one we listened to a month or so ago from the Star Trek universe. The acting in this was far better when we got some.
Yeah.
But I wanted to hear Conan fleshed out, played by an actor. I wanted to hear all these other people in the story. I didn't want to hear someone telling me this, how he walked wearing a loincloth and his long sword, and I don't care.
Yeah. And I could give a rip what all those other people groups were that were with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent like after that, I was just like, first of all, A, I've never met any of those people groups. B, as a science fiction fan, I'd like to have, if you're going to describe somebody, describe what they're wearing. No, don't describe them in terms of names. And then 3, give them a voice, for crying out loud.
Well, yeah.
Oh. I mean, Star Wars, the cantina scene at least had like the characters fully fleshed out, gave them a voice, gave them a split second on the frame, but whatever. You can't learn from Star Wars. But when was this released? 1989?
I thought it was more modern. I thought it was last year, to be honest.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't know. It was. I mean, the voice of Conan seemed to fit, but then it wasn't used.
Yeah.
It was just a guy sat there reading a book.
Yep.
And this is why I hate the audiobooks of anything.
Yeah, all right. I knew you wouldn't like it. I knew once I listened to 15 minutes of it, I was like, oh dear.
I thought, okay.
Oh no, here comes Lee. Lee's gonna probably burn this one.
I thought maybe the narration would sort of fade out, and then the actors would come in and take over, but no. But to advertise it as a full cast audio, that is blatant lying.
And have it, and even have it at the end after everything is said and done. The way that they ended it with I just
abruptly ended as well. Yeah.
I
mean, I didn't even understand when they did have the bit of acting between Conan and the elephant.
The purple elephant god, yeah. Come on, that was good.
But it didn't mean. I was wondering what's going on.
Yeah,
because there was a lot of the elephant guy did have a long spiel to go through.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, what's he on about?
Yeah,
is he an alien? Is he from outer space? Is he?
Yeah.
Nothing's explained.
No.
And then you would have thought the narrator would have explained something.
That would have redeemed the narration.
But yeah, I don't know. It was, and there ain't much of a soundscape in this either.
Yeah, I know.
There's a little bit, here and there, but if you're going to have a over an hour long, allegedly full cast audio drama, bit of soundscape, bit of background, but no.
Background dialogue, background action, background sounds of horses, sounds of the sound, the things that you could have done inside that tower and temple or whatever. That would have been so fucking cool.
And I know they've made more than just this one. I think there's
I think this is like part of a series of.
Yeah, this is the first. This is the first one. I think there's about 4 out there. But I mean, if the other 3 are like this, I'll pass.
Yeah, I thought you would. I mean, I read a lot of I read, quote unquote, a lot of audio books because I don't always deal well with my vision, and so I've just really gotten into audio adventures a lot, and thanks to Big Finish, and here Big Finish, take all my money. The important thing is that there's that when you've got an audio story like this, and you've got the opportunity to do something like this, I would have liked the I would have liked to instead of hearing about Conan fighting his way into the building, I would have liked to have him like actually clink 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 fighting
Yeah,
his way in.
action scene. Yeah.
That would
Um,
have been fucking badass. And like they, just do something with the redeem the narration, change, crying out loud. Anyway,
this is why I always give narration a bum rap, because
I know.
if if I wanted to read a book, I'd read a book myself. I don't want anybody sitting there reading it to me, because, as I
Well,
say, I tune out.
yeah, I don't mind it when they're reading a book to me, but then if they've got if they just say it's an audio book then and I'm up to speed. I know that it's going to be pretty much 100%, just the text from the book and like that's great. But I know that's a whole different thing. I mean, it won't produce great acting scenes or whatever in an audiobook like that.
No,
But
I
they
mean,
didn't say.
well,
Go
it's
on.
the same. You get as you say, with the Conan slayed him with his sword and carried on. No, I want an action scene. I want hot, sweaty action, fighting.
Hmm. Yes.
If only. I mean, this a fan made thing, or is it
No, this is legit. This is
a
like
legit,
this is
yeah, a company's made this? So just think what Big Finish could do with the series of
Conan.
Conan, because they wouldn't do it like that.
They wouldn't. And I mean, there, even though that it was pretty much rubbish, the acting. The last time we listened to an audio adventure that was a full cast audio of Star Trek. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of boring dialogue trying to, anyway, the that that had acting in it, and this just didn't have any, and I was so sort of let down.
Yeah, but the acting in that Star Trek one was pretty awful.
It was pretty awful. I understand. Yeah,
The acting in this, when we got some, I thought you thought, yeah, pretty decent, but there just wasn't enough, because as soon as you got a snippet of acting, it went back to narration.
yeah, and
So
all the exciting bits were narrated, not
great.
acted. Ah.
So, don't ask me if don't ask me if I've got any favourite bits.
No, I know. Um, yeah, I don't know if I can, you know, do favorite bits either, but I think that I thought that maybe this would be a great way to get into a different franchise because Conan's a pretty big franchise. There's a lot of material out there. There are
Yeah,
a few
yeah.
movies and there's tons of books and I thought if they were doing audio adventures of the books that somebody may have nailed it, but these guys just blew it. I mean, it's
Come
yes,
on,
we're spoiled because we've actually heard Big Finish and Babblegab, but
come on, yeah, come on, Big Finish, get a hold of Conan and
yeah,
see, do your magic.
yep, agreed. So do you would you did this even make you want to watch a Conan movie?
No,
No.
no.
All right.
It's
I don't have anything to say then. Like my feeling is that you know Conan, Red Sonja, these characters, these action characters from our past. They're sort of like, when you think about it, it's like they would be so good on audio too, and done right, it would just be fantastic.
That franchise, and also I would say Tarzan franchise.
Tarzan also, that would be fantastic. What a good idea.
So if Nicholas Briggs ever watches any of these, Tarzan franchise and Conan the Barbarian,
Yeah.
get it sorted.
What he said.
Mostly a lot of red tapes go through, but
yeah, what he said though. Little Burroughs, a little I can't remember who the author was for all the Conan books, but yeah, either way, fantastic. Let's just rate it and move on with our lives, because we don't have to dwell. It was a little bit it was false advertising on a big level.
Yeah.
Big extent, yeah. And let down, and I know you are too. So what's your final say and score?
Well, never judge a book by its cover, for a start. I mean, I gave the Star Trek one we listened to a 1. Because that was just talking. The acting was awful. This is talking. Well, narration. But when it gets to the acting is quite good. But there's just not enough of the acting in this.
So
I'd
concur.
So I gave the Star Trek 1. I'm gonna give this a 2.
Oh, okay.
2 loincloths out of 10, just because when you do get the acting, you think, yes, great, stay with that.
Yeah, I can see your point. The acting scenes were good. Let's see. For me, I'll give it a 5. I won't listen to them again, but
it's a shame.
I just thought, what a good thing, because I know that Conan is, he's got a lot of, I mean, people give him a lot of shit because he's like all, muscles and no brain, but I mean, there was a lot of cool things that those books and those movies had, and I just want to see it in my mind, where I like to see all the books that I read. And
that's the problem.
This one didn't have the action scenes acted out, and that was too bad. I mean, that's where they really blew it. That took half of the score away, because
if you've got someone droning on and on just narrating.
Yeah, but if you have those scenes that
you can imagine it more.
You can have action in, and that's when the conflict can build, and that's when the tension can be resolved, because dialogue is usually like you're trying to get something, you're trying to convince that person to do something, and I mean that's basic writing. You don't want people just sitting around talking. You want them to be soliciting something. So after all that good talking bit, you should have a fight, and the fight should be as big as that. But when it goes back into narration right after that good talking bit, and the fight is done in narration, I was
within 4 words of the narration, it's over with.
Yeah, I mean, that's not barbaric in any way. I mean, come on, and it knocks all the tension out of the dialogue. So I mean, we've got this opportunity to do something really fucking cool, and then you kind of like go, well, I don't have any time for it.
Yeah. As I say,
Oops.
I mean, I did listen to it, but I
I
found
know you
myself,
did.
I found myself tuning out because I'm thinking, God, will this man stop talking?
Yep. I know. I'm sorry.
No.
So we didn't score that very high. We're going to try something else in a fortnight. We'll go back to Big Finish and listen to something that they produced because I just don't want to torture Lee all the time. Once in a while, it's okay, but not all the time. I'm only kidding.
As we've always said, we don't always have to like what we
No, we
review.
don't have to like it, and we do encounter some rubbish and stuff. Yes, but stay tuned this weekend. Our releases have we're back into Lee's weird movie uh case, his little briefcase full, or his attache full of weird movies, and this one's called the Swiss Army Man, and you just it's weird. Okay, anyway, enjoy your weekend, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification,
Yeah.
and also be sure to talk to Lee if you want to join us. I mean, really, like, do that. Like, if you're interested, do that.
Do it.
And social media, we're on a lot of different good ones, and you can find all that stuff in the description. And another thing is, uh be sure to, read read the Conan books, and listen to the Conan books, but listen to them as audiobooks. I mean, none of these books are worth a darn as audio adventures. These are just audiobooks. And the other thing is watch the movies, because there's a lot of cool stuff in the movies, and we'll get there eventually. But anyway, just uh it was a good thought, but not all my good thoughts are really good thoughts. Some of them are a bit rubbish.
That's the second black mark
I
against you.
know. Just yeah, just forgive me, I guess. Jeez. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, have a great one. Keep being geeky.